8. This batting stance guy, and if you didn't watch baseball this week, here's what you missed. 25 teams still alive for the postseason thanks to Bud Selig's second wild card. What does that mean? 5 teams are out. Let's celebrate the eliminated. There is no big bizarro celebration like when people make the playoffs and they all hug and jump on the mound. There's no brawl or ripping of clothes or gnashing of teeth, which would be great, but you have to look in the standings to figure out there's 5 teams that have been eliminated. Let's celebrate their successes. Number 1 is the Houston Astros. Hey, they took 3 out of 4 from the Phillies, and they have a couple of young players, but you know what? None of them played well enough to do any better than this guy. That's right, Jeff Kent's on Survivor, and the stash. It's probably the most exciting thing that's happened to the Astros all year. Number 2 team to be eliminated is the Chicago Cubs. Now, I should talk about Rizzo and Theo and all these guys, but really, if you just looked at the newspaper, you'd think that Alfonso Soriano's numbers he was one of the best players in all of baseball. I love his stance and how far he gets right here, but my chiropractor tells me do not imitate Alfonso Soriano, especially because of the lower back. Alfonso has almost 30 homers, over 100 RBIs, and if you look at his numbers in the outfield, you'd think he's one of the best left fielders in all of baseball. If you watch him play, he looks kind of like an unathletic, shorter, right-handed version of Aroldis Chapman. The 3rd team that went out are the Minnesota Twins. Much like Alfonso Soriano, a lot of fans gave up on Joe Mauer because of how much he's paid and because he's been injured the last couple of years. But Joe Mauer is hitting .320. He's got one of the top batting averages in all major leagues, and he's having a ridiculous year. Joe Mauer also makes women faint while holding baseballs with flowing hair, which is almost impossible to do, and he does it almost every time I watch television. Next team is the Cleveland Indians. Now, the Sklar brothers, you ever listen to the podcast Scarborough Country? Threw out the ceremonial first pitch today at the Prague. Randy went Kenta Colby style, and Jason faked to third, throw to first. When do you ever see that? Never. And they won on a walk-off. Well, Jason Kipnis of the Indians is one of the most exciting players for me that's come up in quite a while. And that's because, not just because he's top 70 in major leagues in RBIs, but because he starts the bat down here like Mickey Tettleton, and then the last second pulls it up. I want him to be an MVP candidate every year. All right, the team that got eliminated today was the Colorado Rockies. So now they are out, and Carlos Gonzalez is having a bananas year. He throws the bat all the way around and is as flamboyant as anyone losing his bat. Here's what I want to know. Can you tell me the next 5 or 6 teams that are going to be eliminated? Let me know in the comment section what players I should notice. What players have had great years that have just kind of gone unnoticed because the team's not playing that well. It's a long season, but a great one. Stay tuned.